She did one thing absolutely for her children. She didn't teach them about an awful lot. She was an absent mother. She was an inconsistent nurturer. She brought freedom to her children. That is, she brought her children to freedom. She found a way to get her children to the North. And that I consider a great gift. I think these are unsung characters in this novel, and that's for so very many reasons. Just like so many of the women, like Alana's Fannie Lou Hamer, wasn't that your model? Who was not necessarily seen on the forefront as were many men, because we are a sexist society. Also, we're a racist society, but also a sexist society. And I think what she did in bringing freedom to her children was the greatest gift she could have given them. I don't want to take too much time.
No, and I think that there's another thing about that our audience might not know about you, is that you knew personally Dr. Martin Luther King.
I did.
And I think one of the problems that one of the stories that we always try to elicit from individuals who visit us is the assassination of Dr. King.
Yes.
Because I think that I overheard you make some statements in reference to that.
Yes.
And I think we've got about 2.5 minutes or 3 minutes before we end this show for today. And let's end it not talking about a courageous woman, but about a courageous man, and about how Dr. King was taken. Give us your relationship with Dr. King and his assassination and the impact that it had upon you over the next 2 minutes.
My father's work that brought us from Atlanta to Nashville was with the Methodist Board of Higher Education. As such, he worked with the historically black Methodist affiliated schools, including my now Clark University, but then Clark College, when I was there. And as such, he was able to introduce us to Dr. King, and through my relationship with Dr. Joseph Lowry's daughter, who was my roommate at Clark, there were other opportunities for me to even be a guest in their home. I was as inspired as any college student upon meeting Dr. Martin Luther King. It was an incredible experience to hear him speak, whether in his kitchen at home over greens and fried chicken, I'll never forget that, or at Ebenezer Baptist Church, or later at my father's work in Iowa. I was a junior in college, spending my junior year in France, and I was visiting my roommate, who was spending her junior year in Spain, and I was on a train. It was a 24-hour ride to Valencia, so I didn't hear any news, I didn't hear any radio, I didn't know anything, and this was April the 3rd, 1968. When I got off the train,
1 minute.
her roommate informed, my roommate's Spanish roommate informed me that Dr. King had been assassinated. I can't tell you what went through my mind, only that I roamed the streets of Valencia all day. When I called my parents in great distress, I said, I've got to come home. What am I doing here in France? I need to be on the forefront of the front lines. I need to be marching. I need to be stopping this insanity. And my parents listened to it very carefully, and they said, honey, you knew Dr. King. What would he advise you to do? That stopped me in my tracks, because I knew he would want me to continue my education. And
especially to continue a book like you've presented to us.
I will continue to write.
And let me thank you for all of that information that you've given us.
Thank you.
About not only African American History Month, but about women in African American history. And of course, let me encourage our audience to tune in again next week for another informative edition of Comments. Thank you and good morning.